By the time it rings, the sun will be bringing up all the light in the clouds of delight that I'm singing about when I get it untight, and the loosening up of the spruce goose up beyond the waves of static from the sun. I've got to come out of this dimension. It's only just a little bit left of time. I've got to rhyme a bit before I get to quit all of this because of the alarm going off in the distance. I've got to thin it out into the thickness. I'm bearing witness of all of this glory. I've got the story I've got to comport here into something that I'm going to steer up in the waves of this saving ship. I've got my piggy bank, and I've got to thank God for making it kosher because of the closures of all these deals that I'm coming to steal like a thief in the night. I've got the light. We've got to hold it up tight. Light, 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 light. Light, all right. I've got to fight off into the west, and the rest of this day will turn into a haze. Something kind of unlike what is this kind of thing that I'm going to bring out through the hues of gray and blue into the spring, up into the what's the flinging out of all these doubts that I cast by the wayside until I can hide them by the pebbles that pale in the moonlight. When I get into the tomb right ahead, we're gonna sled off into the pledge that I bled for, up into my fledgling eagles. We're kind of regal. What's up with all this stuff? I've got a seagull bringing breadcrumbs into the plummeting off of the pier. We've got to fear nothing near, but far, far, far away. I must say that I dismay at the timer going off because I have lost all of these seconds to somehow kind of reckon what I'm talking about before I can find my way out into the next segment. I'm gonna segment all this up into segments, kind of like a worm. I've got to turn this off before I can stop. What do you think I'm gonna say to her to get her to stop playing this word over and over again? It's absurd. Alexa, stop! That was the beat. I comped. Oh, I've got a feet. I've got D feet. I've got 3. I've got 4. I got 5 or 6 or more. All of this stuff is piling up, and I've got to find out how I can finally explore all of it up to the crust of the corpse of the earth. It's the core, and we've got so much war to ignore. I don't know how I can get on with the snores. How can I sleep when all this keeping up awake makes me latent? But I've got to be complacent, up with my dormancy, down with my normalcy, into the thing that is blended with all these things. You see, I've got to free it up, free it up, free it up. I've got to please my cup with something like the rust I get when I am thinking dust. It's gotta make combustion possible spontaneously while I'm getting free. If you're more unsaved, you're way more enslaved. I've got to get out of all these things I doubt and back into the spin of the wind where I'm splintering into the skin of the universe. All these cinders are burning so hot it makes me converse with all these drifting snow dredges and the glaciers that part from the iceberg up into the new herd thing. I've got to get flinging off of this bling, like I said once again. Hing. What is the thing?